Judge, I don't see my client, but if she does get in here, I'll need to speak with her. I've been unsuccessful in getting her with the interpreter.
Okay. She's not in my waiting room, and we had an interpreter lined up as well, and I don't see an interpreter yet either.
I'm in the same situation, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And Judge, my worker appears to be Christina Hunter if she's out in the waiting room.
Got everybody in that was out there. So I don't have her either.
Maybe they're hanging out together. The desk isn't set up to shuffle all of the CPS paperwork and orders anymore. I have to readjust everything.
You'll never be rid of us. Not completely.
Well, I hope not. I enjoy covering occasionally. I miss y'all.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and call it and take announcements. We're here today on a permanency hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming. Excuse me, and Ms. Taylor's making our record for us. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I'm not sure who my permanency specialist will be. I believe Ms. Sessions is attempting to get a hold of Christina Hunter, who is listed on the paperwork.
Jerry Morales for respondent mother, Halima Aiden. Your Honor, I have not had contact with her recently. I hope to have had contact today, but I will keep trying. Second announce ready.
William Taylor representing respondent father, Ali Abraham. I've also not had contact with him, although I've attempted to by emailing him the link and the docket information for this morning and asking him to at least confirm that he had gotten that, and gotten no response from him, but I'm present and ready.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of ABBA.
Chanel Garrett with CASA.
Okay. All right, everybody just hang out, I guess.
Her supervisor, Tippy, is logging on.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So for the record, the worker will be Tippy Watson.
Good morning.
Okay, Ms. Watson, can you fill in what's happened since the court report was filed?
Since the court report was filed, Abba has had some struggles in her behavior. There has been a discharge notice placed for her. We are currently looking for a new placement. Her visitations with her child have been sporadic. They were canceled last weekend for her as there was nobody available to watch the visit out of Houston. So that's still being problematic. Miss Halima, we haven't heard. She hasn't returned phone calls. The last contact we had with her said she did not want her child home, but did want the infant.
And Tippy, it appears that neither parents have engaged in any services. Is that correct?
That's correct. Christina did speak to Abba, who said her father is in Illinois at this time, learning to be a truck driver, so he will not be able to provide for her in a home because he'll be on the road most of the time.
Thank you.
Do we know whether the case on the baby, do we know whether they've had contact with mom? With mom in her case.
Mom in our case, to my knowledge, they have not. She hasn't been returning anyone's phone calls. Christina has gone to the house a couple of times, knocked on the door last month and the month before, and she won't answer the door for her, doesn't want any communication.
Well, okay. Kind of appears that they have abandoned this cause.
It appears that way to us as
Yeah.
well. And of course, ABBA is struggling with that. Her last comments to Christina were her mom only cares about her baby and doesn't want her, which I can see why ABBA's struggling.
What are we looking at as far as new placements?
So far, we don't have anything on our radar. We'd like to keep her in Houston so she can be near her child, so she can have visits with her child. She is working the services. ABBA is for that program. She is engaged in school. Her grades had been doing better, but here recently she's had some struggles. I think that came after her father told her that he would not be able to take her into his house.
Okay. All right, well, Mr. Morales, I doubt you have much to report, but
That's correct, Your Honor. I have nothing to report.
okay, Mr. Taylor.
Nothing to add, Your Honor. I've had no contact with my client, and he doesn't appear to be interested in having any contact. So nothing to add.
Let me just ask, Ms. Watson, do you know the last contact that she had with either parent?
I'm not sure of the exact date. I know it was in November.
Okay. All right, Ms. Zavala?
Your Honor, I got to Zoom with ABBA about 2 weeks ago. Some of these things, like the discharge notice, happened after that time. I think, she had told me that Dad was in trucking school, but that he'd be finished in a few months, and maybe that would be a possibility. I don't know if I think that was hopeful, wishful thinking. I don't know that we've got any concrete information. I did remind her that if Dad does have a stable place to live, we'll need information on anybody who's living there with him. And I think she recognized that might be a roadblock. So as of 2 weeks ago, she still wanted to explore that possibility, but knew that would be months down the road. Since that time, Kelly's been able to speak with her one more time. She was interested in a Christmas visit with Mom, but only if baby could come with her. And truth be told, with the lack of communication with Mom, I don't know that that's an option, and we don't have any control about whether baby gets to go on this visit. I will say that Christina has been very involved as much as she can in that other case. Really trying, we've both kind of reached out to her attorney there. She's got a great attorney in that case. It looked like they had worked out the visitation issues so that she wouldn't have to be removed from school for those visits. But it kind of looks like it was in name only. Like, they've now set up these visits for weekends. They said they could do it. They acknowledged that it was a problem taking her out of school. But then yet when the date comes up for those visits, it sounds like some things are not going through. And we're at a weird place since that's technically a different case. But Christina's done a really good job of trying to get that information over there, and so I hate that she's been discharged. I do hope we can keep her in the Houston area so she can continue those visits if those can ever get back on track. But I don't have a whole lot of solutions at this point.
Well, we've got a final coming up March 4th. If that ends up in termination of parental rights, and it appears to be headed that direction, I suppose at that point in time, we could discuss transferring the case to if Abba's still in Houston, maybe transferring the case to the court there in Houston. And maybe that would make a difference where it's all in one place. You know, everybody knows, I mean, they kept trying to kick the baby's case up to us, and I would have gladly taken it had we had any jurisdiction, but we didn't. You know, and everybody knows those jurisdiction things can come back and bite you, you know, way after the fact. So, but I would think it would be appropriate once we have a final disposition, maybe to try to transfer the case to Harris County. Of course, you got a lot of different courts handling these cases in Harris County too. So, it unfortunately it's not in a strictly child protection court. It's not in one of the specialty courts. So,
And I know we reached out about mediation, trying to see if we could sit down with the parents and talk with them, but I know nobody's really had good communication with them. And so that hasn't, that request to try to do that hasn't really gone anywhere yet.
well, my gut instinct is to move this final up, go 45 days out and set it. But I mean, we are getting ready to hit the holidays, and then, it's set early March. And it would obviously be beneficial to know where Abba's going to be placed. This may be the interpreter. Let me bring the interpreter. See if that's who this is. Okay, I've just admitted Salah Duala. Can you unmute for me? Okay, I'm sending prompts to please unmute. There.
Hello, good morning. This is Salah Duale. How are you doing?
Good morning, sir. We are almost finished with this hearing. The parents have not appeared. So we will not need you to interpret for anybody. I appreciate you logging in.
Okay. So both the parents didn't come to the court today?
No, neither one of them has appeared.
Okay, then I will be available for you anytime that they reschedule, that they come.
Okay, I appreciate it. We're going to have a hearing on March 4th of 2025. We could be in contact with you prior to that to see if that's something you could do.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll be available anytime and appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. You're free to go. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so I think we just leave well enough alone. We'll leave it set for March 4th. Try to get Abba squared away so we know, at least we have some idea of what we're dealing with there. So, Ms. Garrett, got anything to add today?
Thank you, Your Honor. The CASA is concerned because the parents have not done anything, but Abba has also mentioned to CASA that her medications is making her very sleepy. She's having a hard time waking up in the mornings. CASA would request possibly maybe her having a medication review to see if maybe they need to adjust something or add something to keep her from being so sleepy. Otherwise, just remain everything as is.
Okay, Ms. Watson, can you see when her last med review was?
Give me just a second.
Not used to this. The court report indicates that there was an appointment on November 18th, 2024, in which a med review was completed. It's on page 13 of the permanency report. Tippy, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, Janelle, has it been since then that you've talked with her?
I cannot answer that truthfully. This is actually Shelby's case, but she's in another court, so
Okay,
I'm covering for her.
okay.
So I know
Um,
I talked to her after that point. She didn't mention that to me, but I mean, anytime there's a concern with medication, and if she's gonna be moving, seems like a good time to do one when she gets set up in her new place.
I know when Christina talked to her in November, she encouraged her to talk to her doctor about her medications to advocate for herself. Whether she did that or not, I don't know. Alba's usually pretty good about advocating for herself. But I don't see any notes on how that went.
well, I mean, by the time we get her in a new placement, we're gonna be at 30 days from November 18th. So I think let's just go ahead and order a med review when she gets settled into a new placement. Because I know probably from an insurance standpoint, they might do it if it was court ordered.
In my system, it shows that she was flagged for a medication review through us, but she's had a change in her medication, and so they reset it to look at it within 60 days out. But that was let me see when that was. That was October 14th. So sometimes if you order it, they'll decide to go ahead and do it. But it's hard to do if she's had a recent medication change.
Okay, but you showed that she did have some kind of change.
That was in October.
Okay, all right. Well, I think by the time we get her settled in a new placement, we should be okay. So,
That's something that they'll pretty much do within the first, I think it's 7 to 10 days of placement, is they have her meds review and set up to be reviewed. Especially since she more than likely will be going into some form of GRO or residential treatment center.
Yeah.
Due to her behaviors.
okay. Well, then I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator and I'll continue her placement. I find a continuing danger to return the child home today. We'll order the med review when she gets into her new placement. And I'll see everybody back on March 4th, 2025, 9 o'clock on a 9 o'clock docket to do our final.
Yeah, that's good.
And I guess we got to start talking to her about tear and everything else, because I mean, I can't see that this is going in any other direction. No offense, Mr. Morales or Mr. Taylor, but
Yeah.
you guys don't have anything to work with right now.
I think there've been a number of discussions, both from myself and from Christina, and we'll continue those.
Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Nicholson, don't I misassigned you. Don't go anywhere. Just ignore that. Okay, let's see. I gotta get TD to 2. My apologies.
There was a great quote in Nebraska when I was deputy county attorney there, and it was the Supreme Court there said that a child shouldn't have to linger in the system while waiting for a parent to get its act together. And I always thought that was a great quote. So
Yeah. I mean, I've seen similar language in our Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court and yeah. Well, it is a frustration, but
yeah.
all right, we'll give them a couple minutes to see. It's 10:51. I'm gonna give them to like 10:55, 56.
Your Honor, for the next one, Abba had indicated she wanted to be here, so I don't know if she's in the waiting room.
Yeah, she is. So I'm gonna start grabbing everybody in. Ms. Gelman, are you okay? You need a break? Are you good?
I'm fine, Judge. Thank you.
Okay. Y'all give me just a quick second. We are here today, scheduled for our final in this matter. We are conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming. And Ms. Galvan is making our record. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Daniel Trial for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. We're present ready.
Gary Morales for respondent mother Halima Adin. Your Honor, she has stopped taking my calls several months ago. I've not heard from her. I do not see her on. Unless somebody has other information, I would not anticipate her logging in.
Bill Taylor representing the father, Ali Ibrahim. Similar to what Jerry just said, he's never responded to my calls or emails. I did send him the link, and for today's docket, did not come back on me, so I assume he got it.
Okay.
I'm here and ready.
Your Honor, Stacy Zavala on behalf of ABBA. She is with us today, and if this was any kind of hearing other than a final one, I would ask for us to go off of YouTube. I do want to make sure that she knows that she can keep her video off if she chooses.
Okay. And she has it turned off right now.
Toby Stashy, it's Casa.
Okay. All right. We have Miss Hussein logged in with us. Miss Katie, we had her in for interpretation. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So, Ms. Zavala, your client does not need her services. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. And we don't have either parent present. Ms. Hussein, I'm going to ask, even though we don't, I'm going to ask if you can remain just for a while.
Excuse me, Mrs. Baker?
Yes.
Honestly, I don't know where my dad is. Last time I talked to him, he was in Ohio. And then with my mom, I think she's sleeping because she's not answering her phone. But my aunt is about to join.
Oh, okay. Anybody have any objection to her aunt joining?
ABBA, is this the aunt that we're requesting the home study on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't know if anybody was intending to call her as a witness. I really wasn't. I can if I need to, but
I'm not planning on calling her as a witness here.
Neither am I. I have no objection to her being on.
Yeah, I don't.
Likewise, I have no plans to call her and don't object.
Okay, so if she comes into the waiting room, then I'll go ahead and bring her in. So Ms. Hussein, I guess if you'll just stay with us just a little bit longer, maybe till about 11:30, because that'll be an hour past our scheduled start time. At that point, I think I'd be comfortable releasing you, if neither parent has appeared by that time. Okay. All right then, Mr. Trout, who's your first witness?
Brandy Page, Your Honor, and Your Honor, I know it's a final on this one. During the section of testimony we're about to take, there is sensitive information about Abba, the child, on this. I'm okay if the court is turning off YouTube for this section of it. I understand we may come back on, but just due to the nature of what we're about to talk about, I'd make a motion to go off YouTube for a minute.
No objection.
No objection.
Okay, then, there being a motion made to protect the privacy and confidentiality of the child, then I'm going to go ahead and stop the live stream at this time. When we get past that point, then we can resume it and open the courtroom back up.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. We're here for, excuse me, we're doing a review Anab Aiden. We're conducting this through Zoom, and we are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor's making our record. Okay. We'll take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the Department of St. Francis Permanency Specialist. Today is Mickey Lane.
Okay, and Miss Villarreal is present.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Sophia.
All right, I'll keep an eye out for Miss Archer in case she's been delayed somewhere. All right, what do we have new since the court report was filed?
So there is another investigation on Sophia. It's regarding placement and mom for a mark right above her buttocks. It's been sent over to a forensic investigator to determine if it was abuse or not. We are waiting to hear back. This has put the reunification plan on hold. Once we get a ruling, we're hopeful to pick up where we left off, which is another overnight, and then placing the child back with mom. Until then, we're doing 2-hour weekly visits supervised by St. Francis. And so we are working with mom on that. And Sophia is currently in a respite home. She is developmentally on target. She has graduated ECI and she is doing amazing. The mark is gone and she appears to be doing a lot better. And we had a visit yesterday for 3 hours. That went really, really well.
So let me make sure I understood you. There's a pending investigation about this mark on the child. And the concern was that it was something that happened while in mom's care?
There's a 5-hour window where the mark appeared. Mom had bathed her and did not see a mark. And placement did not notice it until 5 hours later, and they stated it did not happen in their care. So yes, essentially it could be from either.
Okay.
It sounds like this mark has now been evaluated by at least 3 different doctors. I think we're getting towards the end of the investigation. There's still kind of a dark sort of circle there. But Sophia seems to be very healthy and has been checked out multiple times.
Is this a pretty serious looking mark or burn or, I mean?
So it sounds to me like some of the evaluation is determining whether it's a Mongolian spot or not. However, it was raised. She doesn't seem to be in any pain. Like I said, there's still a dark kind of shadowish there. But she's been evaluated now 3 times. I don't know that we're going to get to an actual answer as to what it was or how it happened, or I don't know. But she seems to be fine right now.
All right. Okay, I have a question. It was something that I read in the report that, you know, mom had completed services. She was in a reunification process. Everything had been going well. We had a hair test that was pending. And then there was a statement that she expressed responsibility for testing positive for cocaine. So was there a relapse at some point in time?
She, no, her hair strand actually came back negative.
Okay.
She has taken responsibility for her and her child, in statements to me, responsible for testing positive for cocaine and taking responsibility for the reasons for removal in the case. So she's shown a lot of growth.
That reference was back to the time of removal.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry for that.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to be clear and clear that up in my notes. Okay. Okay. And we still had no contact with Mr. Salas.
No, ma'am.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll get this thing behind us and we can move forward. Okay, Ms. Villarreal, Ms. Archer has not logged in yet, but is there anything you need to talk about today? there. I'll send you a prompt.
Thank you so much. I'm
Yeah.
sorry about that.
No problem.
No, not necessarily. Just one of the things that I want to highlight, especially with the rising, is like again, Miss Mickey Lane said, it was 5 hours after, and what raised a questioning to me is every time there's an advancement into my reunification, something is always coming up, especially with placement, and it's just frustrating. Like especially with me completing services back in July, and then that we had a whole month and a half gap, and I didn't go to any doctor's appointments. I wasn't advancing in any way. So this reunification has been really, really frustrating for me and just discouraging for me because I feel like no matter if I'm doing the right thing, I'm not testing positive. I just feel like it's constantly stopping. And I feel like even though we're going to get this, what is it, results from the doctor, I still don't understand what it's going to resolve because either way, there's a 5-hour window and it's going to be undetermined because they can't prove that it's in my care or their care. So I still don't understand why we're still going through this investigation.
Well, the easy answer to that is that it has to happen by law, and it's just got to run its course and conclude. I understand what you're saying, and I hear your frustration. Ms. Archer has logged in now. So, anytime we've got a child in care and we've got some unexplained, unwitnessed or unexplained type injury, it triggers, generally speaking, that's going to trigger some kind of investigation. And it's just the law in the state that we have to do that. So, hopefully that will be over with soon, and maybe we'll get a definitive answer. I mean, if it's a medical thing, I would think that we would. So, anyway, just hang in there. You're doing great. So just hang in there.
Thank you.
Ms. Archer, anything you need to add or discuss today? I know you're coming in late, but I know that the child's in respite care and why and all that.
Okay, I apologize for being late, Your Honor. I was having trouble logging on from the courthouse again. I don't really know where we are at the hearing since I logged in late. I'm sorry.
I just asked your client if there was anything she needed to talk about.
Oh, good.
So, Ms. Villarreal, anything else?
Are you able to hear me as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was back to mute. I also wanted to comment on the communication line as well. There hasn't been very good communication between me, St. Francis, the investigator. So I would just like to request that, like, going on in the future, that we're able to be available through email contact. I wasn't notified that Sophia was in the hospital the first time back in August until days later. I wasn't notified that she was in the hospital Friday or had any type of medical assistance until Monday. And my phone numbers weren't updated, and I had updated those phone numbers months ago. So that is a big, big issue for me. If you guys, want to have a great communication, with me to you, I expect the same respect in return.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
all right, everybody's got everybody's current contact information and all that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Well, and particularly in light of the fact that we are in a reunification plan, I think she needs to be notified about any medical appointments or anything right away.
Yeah, Sophia was taken to the ER. And so that she wasn't hospitalized. And then back in August, Sierra was notified, and we did a visit that day, where I went up there with her to the hospital.
it was the following day, but yes.
Okay. Well, and sadly, Ms. Villarreal, these folks have a lot of cases, and they may be out on home visits and talking with other parents or something, and they're not just glued to their telephones out of respect for whoever they're meeting with. So, it's entirely possible that it could be the next day sometimes, but, all we can do is just ask everybody to do their best. Okay, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, I got to observe the visit yesterday with Mom and Sophia. Sophia seems very comfortable with Mom. I got to take a look at the spot on the back. I do hope that investigation concludes soon. And of course, we need to see any results from that. But if those results are either undetermined or, clear Miss Villarreal, I am all for jumping right back into that reunification. Of course, we need to have those answers, but it feels like that's still where we're going, and my hope is we can have those answers soon.
All right. Well, I'm going to continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the child's respite placement at this point in time until the investigation has closed. And then just as soon as this investigation gets closed and comes back, then if there's not some, great big problem, then let's just get back on track.
Your Honor, I had one more question about placement. Whenever the investigation does clear out, is she gonna stay where she's at, or how is that gonna go? With the
Well, it
placement?
depends on the results of that investigation.
Okay.
If there was a finding that something happened at placement, then likely she would not return to placement.
If I can, I would like her to stay where she's at if I have a choice in the situation. Just because the previous placement that she was in, I was fighting for holidays like Thanksgiving. They were going back and forth with it. I just feel like as a biological mother who is doing what she needs to do, I should have when it comes to holidays, I should be able to have her on Christmas, on Thanksgiving, on those type of holidays. And I was tug of warring with them. I think they were just too invested into their child care.
Ms. Lane, I know, well, she's in respite care, and normally I don't know what the limitation is on how long the child can be there. Do we have any kind of time constraint?
It's a 14-day respite home. However, placement, current respite has stated they're willing to be in it however long we need at this time, which we're still in an open investigation, so we have no idea what's going to happen moving forward.
Okay. Well, if they can continue to keep the child beyond that investigation closing, regardless of the outcome of it, if they can keep the child, and especially if we're talking reunification pretty quickly with Mom. So, have we talked at all about what kind of visitation Mom can have? I know, again, it's affected by the investigation, I know, but what she could have at Christmas time.
We're actually hoping for it to be resolved pretty quickly. I sent in for an update from DFPS yesterday and the day before. They keep telling me they're waiting on the forensic interviewer, and I can speak to my supervisor about Christmas for sure. She's at least getting 2 hours a week at the moment, which we're doing another makeup hour because Sophia could not handle 4 hours yesterday. And so I can definitely talk about Christmas for Mom because she did get to miss out on Thanksgiving due to this investigation.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Villarreal, hopefully this thing will come to a close before the Christmas holiday, and we'll be able to set something up for you. And if we can keep the child where she's at until reunification occurs, that'd be great.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm not gonna make a finding of continuing danger at this point. It's just impossible to send the child or to proceed with the reunification until this investigation is closed. So, you know, we are in a reunification plan, so I don't think that's an appropriate finding. We're working on getting the child home. So, I'll find mom certainly is in compliance with her service plan. And then I'll see everybody back. Our final is February 25th of 2025. That's on the 9 o'clock docket.
Thank you, Judge, for hearing my client out. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Archer, we got some people in a breakout room, so we're trying to figure out where we're at.
Judge, she's on, I just responded to an email. She was on the Solace case, which has been dismissed.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't supposed to be here today.
No, I sent emails out this morning telling everybody. I just don't know. You might not have seen it when it went out.
I'm still working through them.
I got you. Yeah, and I'm sure you get a lot.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks.
Judge, we have an agreement we can announce.
That was fast. Okay.
You know, I'm just so efficient at doing this.
It's magical.
Don't tell Daniel.
He's probably watching us. He just can't get enough.
Hi, Daniel.
Love you, Daniel.
Look, you know, I have to say, there's two other attorneys on here who spoke with their clients and were ready to go. So, you know, that always helps too.
Good all the way around.
And Melinda, it also helps that you talk faster.
There you go. Maybe too fast sometimes. No, okay.
Daniel can't help his Mississippi roots.
Feel kind of bad. He's not even here to defend himself.
Like I said, he's probably watching us.
He probably is. He's making sure I'm not messing anything up for him today.
All right, folks. Cause number 9, or did we announce already?
No,
okay, we're here today for our adversary hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We're live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record. All right. We'll go ahead and take announcements now.
Melinda Powell for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. The caseworker is Joseph Valdez. Once announcements are made, we do have an agreement to announce.
Brianna Gomez on behalf of respondent mother Kaylee Fletcher. We are ready and we are in agreement.
Vince Noack, Judge, on behalf of Jalen Millen, the father. We are both present, ready, and we do have an agreement.
Stacy Zabala on behalf of Oakley.
Okay, thank y'all. All right, Ms. Powell.
The department will be named the temporary managing conservator of the child. Parents will be possessory conservators. Supervised visitation will be set up through St. Francis as appropriate. And at this time, there is no child support or medical support.
All right, Ms. Gomez, is that what your clients agreed to?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Noack.
Judge, that is our agreement. And while I've got the mic, I want to remind Jalen that if your phone numbers change, you've got my number, which will never change. Just please keep me up to date. But yes, Judge, that is our agreement.
Okay. All right, and Ms. Zavala, you believe this is in the best interest of Oakley?
I do believe this is in Oakley's best interest. Placement is with family, and we have gotten regular reports. We've got contact info. We have not yet been able to get family to return our calls. So whenever a caseworker speaks with them, if they can just remind them of our role and that Kelly will be reaching out to schedule a visit. But we have received good reports, and we're glad that there's a family placement.
Okay, great. Who is child placed with? Just so I've got it. What relationship? I don't need to know names.
Great grandmother and aunt, kind of a combined.
Okay. They may just not know who you are, Ms. Zavala, or what role or why you're calling to find out about their kiddo. So
Yeah, I don't assign any bad intent.
No.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Okay.
I will give them a call after this.
Right.
Okay. All right, then, I will find the evidence is sufficient to name the Department of Family and Protective Services as the temporary managing conservator of Oakley Parents for Work Services, which we will discuss at greater length at our next hearing. No child support or medical support will be ordered at this time so that parents can use their resources to work services and get to and from visits and all those things. I will continue the child's current placement. And then I'll see everybody back for our status hearing on January 23rd of 2025. Golly, that sounds... It's making me older and older and older.
Me too.
So I'll see everybody back then. We will talk about the service plans. So between now and then, Mr. Miller, they're going to sit down with you, create a service plan, what kind of classes and things we want you to do. And as Mr. Nowak said, it is very, very important you stay in touch with him and also with the individual who will be assigned as what we call your permanency specialist. Generically, we know them as caseworkers. But if you do have a change of address or phone number, let these folks know because they need to be able to reach you, if something comes up. So when we're back on the 23rd, Mr. Miller, my morning docket starts at 9 in the morning. Your case may or may not be right at 9 o'clock, but Mr. Nowak will know what time slot, that morning you need to log in. So, if your case isn't set till 10 o'clock, you don't need to log in at 9 and just sit out there and wait in the waiting room. So he'll make sure you know that. All right. I appreciate y'all very much. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the new year. And I hope if I don't see some of you, have a very Merry Christmas.
Judge, can I clarify? The online docket says 128 for the status. Is it 123 or 128?
What I'm looking at says 123. Miss Katie.
Yes, I'm sorry. We had to change that date, and it was after I sent the docket out, so it's going to be on the 23rd.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you all so much, and see you later.
Judge, thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Judge.
My last hearing with the court today. With your permission, I will exit the courtroom.
That would be just fine. I'm just still stumbling over this whole 2025 thing. I'm just thinking, wasn't it just 2000 not too long ago?
I've been doing this for 34 years, and
but does it seem like it's
old when they were my age? I'm now that age.
I know. Does it seem like it's been a quarter of a century since we were celebrating the millennium?
No, it does not.
And that whole Y2K scare.
Oh, I know.
I was
Miss those
in my
days.
first legal job, and we expected like all the firm's computers to like die at the stroke of midnight.
Mr. Miller probably wasn't even born then, so he may not remember all that.
About 2006. Yeah, he got through the Y2K without being born.
Yeah. Well,
thank you all so
Mr.
much.
Miller,
And have a wonderful week.
All right, Mr. Miller, you're free to go.
Mr. Novak.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna need your number again.
Hey, Vince, I'll put you all in a breakout room.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Miller, what you're gonna get a little prompt here in just a second.
All right.
And it's gonna say join room 2 or join, just click on that and then you can just hang up from there.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Judge, thank you so much.
We're here set for our final today. We're conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of the parties. We are live streaming and Ms. Taylor is making our record today. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services, present, ready to proceed, Judge.
Stacy Brown on behalf of Alex Kelly, present and ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Tracy Riley appearing for the father, Your Honor, who I don't believe who is unknown at this time.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Alyssa.
Jonna Rowland with Amarillo Casa.
All right, thank you. Okay, Ms. Powell, who's your first witness today?
Petitioner would call Amy Bailey. And I'd also ask the court to take judicial notice of the documents that were transferred in from California. Prior to this case, they were transferred in April of 2023 by Ms. Kopp. At the time, it was a registration of a foreign order.
All right, any objection?
No objection.
No objection, Judge.
Okay, then I'll take judicial notice of the content of the Potter County file that contains those documents that were transferred in.
Thank you, Judge. And I'm sorry, did you swear in Miss Bailey? I
haven't yet. No.
Okay.
All right, Miss Bailey.
Are you familiar with the case?
I was the investigator on the case.
Okay. And when did you become involved with the child?
In March of 2024.
Okay. And where was the child at the time you became involved?
In the pavilion.
Okay. And at the time, who was the guardian of the child? Rhonda
Wilhite.
Ms. Powell, let me interrupt just real quickly. Because she doesn't have counsel, I also want to announce that Rhonda Wilhite is also present with us. So my apologies for interrupting.
Okay. I did not notice that. I will mark her on there. Thank you, Judge. Now, did you, at the time that you had contact with the child, did you also have contact with Miss Wilhite?
Yes.
And what were the circumstances in which you initiated this case?
We had received a report that Alyssa was in the pavilion and that she had run away up to 15 times from Miss Wilhite's home. And Miss Wilhite did not feel that she was able to control Alyssa's behaviors or keep her safe in her home.
Okay. Did you have any type of family team meetings or anything prior to the removal?
Yes, we had a family team meeting. We tried to engage the family in the TFF program, but there were no openings at that time. So Mrs. Wilhite and Alyssa both agreed to work family-based services.
Okay. And were you ever able to begin the family-based services?
No, Alyssa ran away before we could start those services.
Okay. And so did the department take custody of Alyssa really to try to meet mental health needs at that time?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as mentioned, Ms. Wilhite is a conservator or a guardian of Alyssa. Is that correct?
Yes.
Who is Alyssa's biological father?
From what I understand, Kenneth Neil Downhour.
Okay.
Her biological father.
Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted. Say that again.
Sorry, is her biological father.
Okay, sorry. And then who is Alyssa's biological mother?
Alex Kelly.
Okay. Now, based on your interviews, were you able to determine whether Alyssa ever had any type of relationship with her biological parents?
To my knowledge, no.
Okay. As a matter of fact, the documents that the judge took notice of indicated that the child had not seen biological parents since she was about 3 months old. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And did you receive records from California in regards to CPS cases involving the parents?
I requested those, and I believe I received them after the removal. But the records from California indicated that Alyssa was living with someone other than her biological parents.
Okay. Now, did you attempt to locate the biological parents during your investigation?
Yes, I did.
And were you able to locate them at all?
No, I never had contact with either one.
Did you have any conversations with Alyssa regarding whether she had had any contact with biological parents?
Yes, she stated she had not.
Okay. Now, other than what you have just testified to, did you have any more involvement in this case?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Grant, any questions?
During the initial phase of this case, were you able to identify the father?
I was told that it was Kenneth Downhour.
And has Kenneth Downhour been genetically tested in this matter?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Do you have any information regarding any other possible fathers?
No.
Pass the witness.
Okay, Ms. Riley?
Judge, I don't have any questions.
All right, and Ms. Zavala?
I have no questions.
All right, Ms. Powell, anything further from this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, any objection to letting Ms. Bailey leave us at this time and go on about her day?
No objection.
Okay, Ms. Bailey, thank you so much. Appreciate your time this morning. You're free to go.
Thank you.
All right, you can call your next witness.
Petitioner calls Christy Ashley.
All right, Ms. Ashley, if you'll raise your right hand for me.
Are you familiar with the case?
I've been the permanency specialist since the removal.
Okay. And I guess I could have asked the investigator, but I'll ask you, how old is Alyssa?
16.
Okay. And you heard testimony that the father of the child is Kenneth Downhour, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and have you had the opportunity to review documents out of California?
I have not.
Okay. And you heard testimony that the mother of the child is Alex Kelly, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and have you received any information that the child has a different father or that the identification of the mother is incorrect?
No.
Okay. Now, during the course of the case, have you attempted to locate the parents of this child?
Yes.
What attempts have you made to locate the parents?
I have ran approximately 4 finders reports. I've sent letters to addresses listed on the finders for both parents. I've called phone numbers. I sent local sheriffs from the last known county that they were in to go to the last known address, knock on the door to do a welfare check to try to see if they are, either one of them are at those addresses. And I have spoken to Kenneth's mother.
Okay. Yeah. When you spoke with Kenneth's mother, did she indicate that she knew anything about Alyssa?
She does know about Alyssa. She has spoken to Alyssa a few times during the last 16 years. and said that she had no desire to speak with her while in care.
Okay. Was she able to provide any additional information regarding Mr. Downhauer's location?
No, she said she had not spoken to him in at least 3 years.
Okay. Have you had conversations with Alyssa, whether she's ever had contact with her biological parents?
Yes.
And has Alyssa had contact?
No.
Has Alyssa, did she indicate whether she ever wanted to find them, or did she indicate her feelings towards her biological parents?
She has no desire to have a relationship with them.
Okay. Now, are you asking the court today to terminate the parental rights of Kenneth Downhauer as to the child Alyssa?
Yes.
Are you asking the court today to terminate the parental rights of Alex Kelly as to the child Alyssa?
Yes.
Okay. And in your opinion, have the parents essentially abandoned this child?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Had you been able to locate any of the parents? Would service plans have been developed?
No.
You would not.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood the question. I thought you said, was I able to go over the service plans?
Bad question. I am out of practice. Did you develop service plans in the event you would have located the parents?
Yes.
Okay. And would you have discussed those service plans had you been able to locate the parents?
Yes.
Okay. And if you had been able to locate parents, would you have attempted whatever you needed to for reunification?
Yes, ma'am.
And based upon the fact these parents are basically missing, you were unable to complete any of that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, Rhonda Wilhite is a conservator or a guardian of Alyssa. Is that correct?
Yes.
And has the child indicated her desires in regards to returning to the home of Miss Wilhite?
Yes.
What is the child's desires?
She wishes to not return to the home of Rhonda Wilhite.
Okay. The child is 16. Is that correct?
Yes.
Has the child expressed a desire in adoption?
Yes.
And what steps is St. Francis taken in regards to potential adoption for Alyssa?
We did submit her information to our TARE coordinators to try to find a legal risk placement for her. And if Alyssa comes into the PMC of St. Francis, then we will be able to list her on the TARE website to look for a potential adopted placement.
Based upon the child's desires, are you asking that Miss Wilhite be removed as any type of conservator for the child?
Yes.
And do you believe that your request for termination and your request to remove Miss Wilhite as a conservator is in the best interest of Alyssa?
Yes.
Okay. Where is Alyssa currently placed?
She's currently placed in a stepbed in Houston, Texas.
Okay, and how is she doing in that stepbed?
She's doing wonderful in that stepbed. She has completely turned her behavior around since October 1st. She's like a new kid. She is attending school every day. She has not even skipped one class. I have an attendance record from the school showing that she's attended all of her classes. She's passing. She has had no runaways or psychiatric admissions since October 1st.
As a matter of fact, the child has appeared for numerous hearings. Is that correct?
I believe the last hearing was the first time she had appeared, but yes, she did appear on her own.
Okay. And did you tell her about today's final hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
And why is she not here?
She prefers to be in school.
Okay. And are you asking that the department be named the permanent managing conservator of the child?
Yes.
And do you believe that too is in the best interest of this child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I pass the witness.
I'd prefer to be in school too.
Me too.
Okay, Ms. Grant, any questions?
Sorry, Judge, I'm in an old courthouse and the internet is not the best. As far as the searches that you've done for the parents, does the child have a copy of her birth certificate?
She does.
Who is listed on the birth certificate as the parents?
Kenneth Neal Downhauer and Alex Louise Kelly.
Okay, and so your searches for the parents were based on the names identified in the birth certificate, at least in part, correct?
Yes.
And have you searched Attorney General records for any previous child support orders related to this child?
No.
Are you aware by any means whether or not any orders exist ordering child support in regard to this child?
Not aware of that.
Okay. And are you aware if any guardianship paperwork's ever been filed in regard to this child?
There was a conservatorship granted to Miss Looper in California, and then the conservatorship documents in Texas for Rhonda.
Okay, and in fact, the orders in Texas removed Miss Looper completely and placed solely Miss Rhonda DeWilhite, correct?
Correct.
And so, would you agree with me through your investigation and your management of the case that the orders in Texas closed any other conservators other than the possible parents and Miss DeWilhite?
Yes.
Okay, and so you're asking today for both of the parents identified on the birth certificate and through your investigation be terminated?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you do any social media searches for Alex Kelly?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you find any reasonable profiles that match the person you were searching for?
Yes.
And did you run those leads to ground?
Yes.
And were any leads successful?
No.
And as to the location of specifically Alex Kelly, even if she were to be located, the child's expressing a desire not to be reunited with that mother, correct?
Correct.
Okay, pass the witness, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Riley?
Judge, I have no questions.
All right, and Ms. Zavala?
Your Honor, I believe everything I needed has been covered, so no questions.
Okay. I've got just a couple of questions about the child's, about current placement, and I know we were looking at a RTC in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, if she's doing so great now, any hope of just keeping her where she is?
So that has actually changed. We're no longer looking at the RTC in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
There is an RTC in Alabama that we've submitted the ICPC for that has accepted her there. I did speak with the mother, the house parent at the current stepbed about keeping Alyssa long-term since she is doing so well there. And she said that at this time, she's not able to take any long-term placements. They're all stepbed placements, short-term. I did speak with Alyssa and let her know that if she continues doing so well at this new RTC, that she could graduate that program in 3 to 4 months and return to possibly a GRO, hopefully a foster home placement back in Texas. Alyssa understands that it's her behavior history that is preventing her from getting acceptance in state at this time.
Even though we've had 2.5 months of no incidents, no problem.
Yes, ma'am. We have asked other places to review her, but they feel at this time that 2 months is not a lengthy enough amount of time to show behavior change.
Okay. How much longer do we have at the stepbed placement?
They have said that they would extend her until the ICPC is completed for Alabama.
Gosh, does an ICPC go any faster?
Yes, ma'am. They said 2 to 4 weeks. And so we're hoping in the next couple of weeks that she'll be able to make that transition.
Okay. But we think she understands all this and
She does understand that. When I spoke to her, I told her that it's not what I would want for her because she has shown such positive change in the last couple of months, but unfortunately we can't force placements to accept her. And based on her behavior in the past, she said that she understands that it was her poor choices that have put her in this position. And she plans to continue on the track that she's on now so that she can graduate early and return to Texas with a lower level of care.
Okay. All right. I'm sure Ms. Zavala has some information about that too, but okay. Ms. Powell, any other questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we've been kind of over this, I think, early on in the case, but just to touch base on it. The orders that were transferred in from California and then the subsequent action that took place in Texas it's pretty clear that Mr. Downhour is a presumed father or was adjudicated or
In just kind of looking through the stuff out of California just now, it appears that he's a presumed father. I know that being on the birth certificate alone is not determinative here in Texas, but just kind of looking through the stuff out of California, it looks like he was presumed father. There was never any questions regarding whether he was the father.
okay.
And I don't know how he was pled in this case or.
Well, I think he was pled in as a presumed father because I think we had enough out of those prior orders. And I don't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to try to find them, but even I think in the action in Texas, I think he was treated
As a presumed.
I think so.
Yeah, we have him pled in as a presumed.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just wanted that clear on the record that he is a presumed father. Okay. All right. So anything further?
Nothing further. I rest.
Okay. All right. Ms. Grant, anything to present today?
No witnesses to present, Your Honor, but I would request a specific finding from the court that the department and myself have both made all reasonable efforts to locate my client and that those efforts have been unfruitful, and that even if the client were located, the child has expressed a preference to the court not to return to the mother.
All right. Okay. Ms. Riley?
Similarly, Your Honor, I would state that I think all reasonable efforts have been made to locate my client. I know I've made efforts as well, and he has not been found. And in addition, the child has expressed a preference not to return to him. And I don't believe that he has a significant relationship with this child at this point in time that would bear any other result.
Okay. Ms. Wilhite, she's fallen in and out. I've let her
I'm
back
here.
in. Okay, Ms. Wilhite.
Yes.
Is there anything that you need or want to present to me today? And since you don't have an attorney, I'll give you a little latitude. If there's just something you want to tell me, I'll allow you to just talk in the narrative. You might get an objection from an attorney. If you do, just stop where you're at till I can rule on that objection.
I'm okay.
Okay. All right. Then Ms. Zavala.
I have nothing to present, Your Honor, other than a recommendation if you're ready for that.
If everybody else has rested, everybody else rest and close?
Rest close.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge.
All right then, Ms. Zavala, you are welcome to give your recommendation at this time.
Your Honor, I've been able to visit with Alyssa multiple times over the course of this case and including very recently. I was very pleased to hear that she would prefer to be at school than here today. She, over the last bit, has been very clear-headed, calm, rational. Seems to really be thinking through things. I've had the same discussion with her that Miss Ashley has in terms of what control she does have over the situation. And she seems to have a really good attitude about where she's going to go from here. She has been very clear that she would like to be free for adoption, if that were to become an option, and that she no longer wishes to be under the conservatorship of Miss Wilhite, and does not want a relationship with her parents if they were found. So I do believe all of those things are in her best interest.
All right. Okay. And I failed to timely ask Ms. Wilhite if she had any questions of any witnesses. Ms. Wilhite, do you have any questions you need to ask Ms. Ashley? And you're muted, I'm sorry.
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. All right, Ms. Wilhite, I appreciate your participating with us. In this case, I know it's difficult, and but I also suspect that you're happy that she's doing well and that things are kind of turning around and things are looking up.
I am. I'm very proud of her.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you. Okay, then, at this time, then,
Your Honor. Can I?
oh, I'm so sorry, Ms.
That's
Rowland.
all right.
Yes,
That's
Casa,
okay.
I'm so
Judge,
sorry.
it looks like Miss Riley fell out.
Okay, I'll watch for her. Hang on just a second, Jonna. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Okay, Judge, I have Miss Riley on the phone. She has not been able to log back in. She's at a courthouse and has bad reception, but she is here on the phone with me.
Okay, that's great. We can finish up. Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, Judge. I just can't seem to get enough signal to get it to launch.
No worries. No worries. Okay, Ms. Rowland with Casa.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to say that I talked to Alyssa last night before today and reminded her of court, and like she's told Stacy and Christy, she would rather be at school. She said Ms. Zavala would keep her updated as to what happens today. She has voiced to me that she does not want to return to Ms. Wilhite. She wants to be adopted. So I believe that it's in her best interest for the parents' rights to be terminated, Ms. Wilhite's to be dismissed as conservator, and for her to be PMC to the department so that she could get adopted.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Rowland.
Uh-huh.
All right, then at this time, I do find it's in the best interest of the child to remove Ms. Wilhite as her conservator so that we can move forward with adoption of the child. I find by clear and convincing evidence it is in the best interest of the child to terminate the parental rights between the child and her mother, Alex Kelly, and her father, Kenneth Downhour, based on Texas Family Code 161.001, subsection B1, the in grounds, and the best interest under 161.001 B2. At this time, I'll name the department as permanent managing conservator of the child, and I'll approve the change in placement that we've discussed today as soon as we've got everything in place and can make that happen. And council, of course, as always, be mindful your de novo time frame does begin to run since I've rendered an open court. And also, if you're instructed to file a notice of appeal, please wait to do that until a final order has been signed and adopted by the referring court. All right, then. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. I think that will conclude our Potter County docket for this morning. The last couple cases on the docket are being moved. So I hope all of you have a good rest of your day. And if I don't see you, have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Judge. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Judge. You too.
Thank you.
Thank
right.
you for tolerating me 2 days in a row.
Thank you for filling in. We appreciate you.
Thanks. Have a Merry Christmas.
Okay, y'all too.